What's going on, everyone? Ben Spicer here, joined by the man of the hour, Jordan Pugh, head coach, founder of PPT Elite. What's up, Coach? How you been? It's been a while since we've chopped it up. It's good to see you. We both came a long way since the last time we did one of these, so it's good to catch up with you.
Hey, man, been good. You know, just been putting everything together, building the program out, being a dad. You know what I mean? Being a what you got? You got what, WAGs? I think for like the NFL guys. So trying to figure out what my title is. Because my wife is a coach, right? So you know, I'm being a supportive husband when it's her season, when it's volleyball season, that kind of thing. But everything is good, man. Everything's been going well. Just building out the program, man, and trying to build towards the future.
You know, the last time we talked, you were kind of laying out your vision of what you hope to accomplish over the next couple of years. And it's been cool to kind of watch that from the side and see all that come to fruition. But I'm kind of curious of, you know, the start and the journey of leading up to here. So just kind of take us through PPT Elite. I know we've talked about it before, but I'm curious if maybe things have changed and how the outlook of things are now. But taking us back to the journey and where things got started up to now, just kind of lay it out there for us and how things have gone.
Man, all right, a wild journey, right? You know, when you look at the start, I think we started back 2016. So to give a full scope, you know, from Plano, played ball at Texas A&M, played 5 years in the NFL, got drafted by the Carolina Panthers, 2 years there, 2 years with the Redskins, 1 year with the New Orleans Saints. And when I started, man, I got started around 2016. I got done playing. I was trying to find that transitional moment, right? You know, when you're an athlete, when you've been an athlete your entire life, when it's been your dream and your goal of playing at the highest level, the hardest thing to do is transition out of the sport, and especially when it's not by choice, right? So I ended up my last season, man. A lot of people, some know, but a lot of people don't know that I lost my hearing. I'm deaf in my left ear. Things were building. I was in a contract year. You lost out on a lot of things, couldn't pass a lot of physicals. So I was kind of, you know, forced out, not by my own accord, right? So you're going through that transition phase. You go through the media pocket, through the radio shows that I did, the Aggie game days with Texas A&M, and you're trying to find that one thing that gives you that purpose again, where you feel that adrenaline rush. And man, I stumbled upon coaching. So started with a training facility in 2016. About 3 years in, I had a lot of athletes asking me to start a 7-on-7 team. Didn't want to do it. I thought it was a waste of time. I always told myself I never wanted to coach, but eventually I gave in to what they wanted, and then I fell in love with it all over again. So that led from 7-on-7 to just building out a youth tackle team, putting that together. And then eventually, man, you know, I just saw a whole bunch of kids come through the program. I saw a whole bunch of high-level kids come through the program that are not playing college football to this day. And for whatever reason, that did something inside of me. It stirred something up. I watched kids pass through. I watched kids with talent that lost hope. I saw kids with talent that gave up on their dream because they were either told that they weren't good enough to do this, they got overlooked within the process, and they never saw the recruiting process manifest out. So about 2 years ago, I decided that I'm going to start a high school national team. So, you know, we like to call it Team PPT, to where we would play games in the spring and we would allow these athletes to showcase their abilities on a national stage. There was too many guys that I saw come through the program, too many overlooked players that just didn't have the opportunity to showcase themselves. They got lost in the process. The transfer portal opened up. The world of college recruiting changed. And, man, there had to be a bridge somewhere in this mix. And when you look at, you know, the transfer portal, which we can get into at a later time, man, it was taking away a lot of scholarship offers from players. Right. So when we started the program, in the spring of 2022, we went out, we played 2 games in the spring during the recruiting cycle window, and we ended up having 5 guys get scholarship offers off the game. And man, it's just been something that I wanted to build on from there. I think the future of football is moving that way. And man, just the transition from where I started to where I am now, man, it's really cool to see. It's part of the overall vision that I had, man. And I'm looking forward to what comes next.
Well, as someone who's been watching, you know, on the outside, it is really cool to see just how far you guys have come since I got to know you. And since then, I mean, even wow, in the last year or so, the landscape of college football has changed so much. And I think you're on the cusp of something that's cutting edge and changing things. And you kind of touched on a little bit there, but how is what you're doing with the national team different and new in a way that, hasn't really been seen in this dynamic before?
Man, I tell you, look, one of the biggest things that you get when you're doing something new, man, you get a lot of pushback because you get a lot of people that are used to the traditional form of anything, right? That could be anything that you do. Whether we talk about the high school landscape all season, January through whenever the season starts, we play our games, the college coaches come out, we get recruited. What people got to understand is the transfer portal has changed the game. There's a rule, 60-20-20, okay? A lot of the college coaches that I talk to tell me this rule, 60% transfer portal players are now filling up the rosters for that current recruiting cycle. 20% go to the grad transfers. The other 20% are left for the high school students. So what does that mean? That's anywhere from 5 to 10 players in a high school recruiting class, or in particular the high school student that is getting picked up for scholarships, meaning that in a class of 25, man, you only got 5 to 10 that are getting the scholarship offers, meaning you got to be the best of the best when they're out recruiting you. And you're fighting against people throughout the nation, not just in your region, your city, your area. It's the people throughout the nation that you're fighting for that one spot, right? And so when I looked at it, man, I looked at the landscape. I looked at how things were changing. I looked at how guys were missing out on opportunities. You got some players sitting at home. You got some players that just gave up on their dream. I said, man, there has to be something that we do that is different. There has to be something that bridges the gap between the current high school state of recruiting and how we can get these guys at least in front of the right people. I always tell my people, I can never promise you a scholarship. Anybody who promises you a scholarship is telling you a bold-faced lie. What I can do is I can put you in front of the people who make the decisions. And that was the overall goal. And, man, it's worked out well so far, especially launching this new program, getting it out there, getting in front of the coaches, sending the tapes out, hell, even getting them to come out in person and evaluate. So it's exciting to see the growth, man. And I can't see what this thing looks. I can't wait to see what it looks like 2 or 3 years from now, man, how it just continues to build and grow.
And the awesome part is you're starting to see the results of your hard work, come to the table. You've got kids that are playing in college now, going to that next level, and that's what it's all about for you. Right. I'm sure that's cool to see also. When we were talking at a DR7 tournament a couple weeks ago, you mentioned that this is, I believe, year 2, phase 2 of a 5-year plan. I don't want you to, give away the whole ingredient there, but maybe what's to come and what's the future looking like for you guys?
Man, well, in order to know what's to come, you got to know where you started. And what a lot of people got to understand, man, the story behind it, man, I got stories for days. Let's put it like this. For year 1, we started with 30 kids. The week of the first game, we dropped down to 15 that Monday. We're leaving to fly out that Friday, okay? So I had to make a decision. Do we go up there and do we play or do we scratch the whole thing? And it took one of the players sending me a message, okay? Send me a message on a Wednesday night. Never forget it. And he said, Coach, this is my last opportunity to get some film out, okay? He said, man, I tore my knee up playing 7-on-7 in a tournament, just a freak thing. All right, he played for me. We were down in Austin, actually, for the tournament. Tore it just because one of the freakiest things you'll see. And he said, this is my last opportunity. He said, Coach, I don't even care if we have 11. I'll play on the offensive line if I have to. Please just don't take the chance from me not to get the extra film that I need in order to take advantage of the opportunity. That's all I'm asking, Coach. When he sent me that message, I said, okay, we got to do this. Man, we went up there. We went to the University of Washington on a visit. We were down there with Kalen DeBoer, who's now at Alabama. We were on the sideline there. They took us around, took us to tour. Man, it was cool. A cool sight to see. And the parents finally got to see what this thing looks like. I had a parent come up to me and say, I didn't think this thing was going to be worth it. I didn't think this thing was gonna come all the way through. But now that I'm here, now that I'm in front of these coaches, now that I'm tour the facility, something I've never done before, she goes, it was well worth everything that you told us it would be. And that's what we were doing it for. So now we transition to phase 2, year 2 of this, building upon that. In the second phase, man, now it's about getting more and more exposure to the athletes through you guys, through DR7, DR Sports, and what you guys are doing, getting them out there in front of the coaches, playing a national schedule. Man, I just think the level of football has to rise in order for them to be seen, but also you have to create more opportunities to take advantage of those opportunities. But what I see in the future is I see a lot of people moving away from school ball. And I know that sounds crazy in the state of Texas. I know that Texas is king. You got $70 million stadiums everywhere. But when people start waking up and start realizing that opportunities are starting to wane, opportunities are getting fewer and fewer, and you have to become more and more elite, I think the developmental aspect and the academy style aspect is going to be key for a lot of athletes. And you have to exhaust all your resources, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to build out a developmental program, which is coming in the future. Like you said, I can't give away all the nuggets, but also a full-on plan in order to get these kids in the right space, the right opportunity, and a plan of attack in order to help them get to that next level, but most importantly, be seen. Like you guys say with the tagline, expose the unexposed. That's our goal. That's our mission. And at the end of the day, all we want is a thank you. We got, hey, man, you got us in position, and now it's time for us to take advantage of it.
I think a good comparison to maybe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but to the vision and what you're kind of trying to build. You see this a lot in basketball. I feel like high school basketball,
Right.
AAU basketball, charter school type thing. Now you guys aren't a school, but what you're trying to do is kind of similar to that. Would you say, in terms of what you all are wanting to do with your vision?
Yes. So I tell people all the time, we're not a school, nor do I want to be a school. The reason why I don't want to do that, man, I don't want the regulation. I got into this in order to help kids. I want their dreams to become a reality for them, right? The best way to do that is to not have any type of limitations, but also to be able to provide an opportunity for them through the contacts, through my experiences, through the coaches that I know, all the people that will help put them in place. But man, like you said, the landscape of everything between lacrosse, soccer, volleyball, baseball, you name it, every single sport has a club element to it, an AAU element to it, for lack of a better term, but football doesn't. I think a lot of it has to do with, you're talking about tradition versus progress. And I think a lot of people are afraid of the progress because it's a risk and it's new. But I'm the type of guy that, hey, man, I could care less if it's a risk in your mind. I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to build this thing because at the end of the day, it helps progress the kids and it helps give them an opportunity that they may be missing on the high school level. So, yeah, man, we take clues and keys from those type of sports and we're building it out through our process. But, man, it's been a challenge because there's really nothing to base this off of in this particular sport. You have the 7-on-7 element that we've grown and we've pushed forward. But now how do you flip that and how do you put that together when it comes to this model with the tackle side? So, man, it's fun to see and it's fun to build out.
And while it's not a school academically, you could say it's kind of an academy athletically in the way that you work. I mean, you have a youth flag football program from 7 to 10 years old, and you can kind of take those kids and build them up through the youth football tackle ranks all the way to 7-on-7 in the trenches with the Trench Academy and ultimately with the national team. So you've been here since 2016. I know you've been kind of trying to build up to that. So you've probably seen some kids, from that young age grow up through the program. So just what has that been like to be able to see that growth, and how do you get involved, and why is it important maybe to get involved from that young age and kind of grow the program?
It's been fun to see, right? You watch them, from the baby stage, and then you watch them develop the skill set. What you always hear me say is the skill set. I could really care less about you getting bigger, faster, stronger, because that's going to happen. Any program needs to have that. And when you go to school, that's what they're going to do. It's 3 things: your hands, your feet, and your hips, your skill set. Do those 3 things translate? When I watch your film, can I take your skill set and can I implement it into our program, and can I put it on that football field to where the team is successful? And that's what we thrive in. Look, I tell everybody that comes to us and asks us and that is interested in the program that you are getting coaching from guys who have lived it. All right. I played 5 years in the NFL. I'm a Plano ISD Hall of Famer. I'm in the Hall of Honor down in Texas. I've done all these different things. 2 times player of the year at A&M. All of our coaches are all former players that have done it at a high level, but the difference is we can teach it and we can coach it correctly. And we hold each person to a standard. So one of the things, man, that's been fun to see is the people that have grown through the program. But the one thing I always want to tell a parent is this, is you can't be afraid of opportunity. And the thing I've run into a lot is I've run into a lot of people that have been afraid of opportunity because a couple of things have happened. They've been burned in the past with false information. They trusted the wrong people. And then they tried to do things on their own in order to empower and to improve their child. But yet they don't have the right tools nor the right information in order to make the right decisions. And we are here to help bridge that gap too with the parent. We want parents to know that the high school is not the end all be all. If you're not getting served there correctly, if you're looking for more, we're the people to do that. I also want to talk to the parent that's worried about injury. I need them to understand football is a 100% injury rate sport. You will get hurt. So if you're worried about injury, then you may not need to play this game. But you have to weigh the risk of injury versus the risk of not taking the opportunity. And our goal at PPT is to be able to provide the opportunity to you. And if we can provide that opportunity, you don't know where this thing can take you moving forward.
And we talked about it a little bit earlier, but now you're seeing some alumni that have gone through that are playing at that college level. What are they kind of saying about, PPT Elite and how it helped them develop and get them to where they're at?
Man, it's been fun. Like, you can go to our website and you can see all the testimonials we have up there. But the one thing that I always want them to tell me is you got us ready to play. And what you told us was the truth. I am hard on our kids. I am not interested in being friends of our kids. That does no interest. I have friends. I'm married and I got 2 beautiful daughters. My goal is to watch you live your dream. My goal is to watch you play on Saturdays and eventually watch you play on Sundays. I ask every single person that comes through the program, what's your goal? Number one thing, oh man, I want to be the best football player. Well, yeah, that's the requirement. You got to be the best you. I tell them to get specific. You need to specifically tell me what you want. And then a lot of times you get, well, I want to be D1 or I want to go pro. Then I ask them what school. All right. What's your favorite school? I need your top 3. Tell me the specifics, because when you can specifically lay it out, you've told me your vision now. Now, once you tell me your vision, I'm going to hold you accountable, because myself, along with other coaches, have lived that life, and we can give you the steps and the processes in order to be successful at that level. So, man, a lot of the guys that are in school, they come back and they go of how we got it ready. They loved how we built a brotherhood, like when we travel. The preparation aspect of it is all similar to what they do at the college level. And that's what we want to do, man. We want to give you the keys, the tools, and the experiences before you get there.
Well, that's awesome, man. I love it. And for people that are watching that might be interested, you've kind of touched on everything, but what would you say is the biggest thing that you offer with PPT Elite? And for those that are interested in participating in the national team, what do they need to do to get involved and to come out and try out and play with you guys?
Well, the biggest thing that we do is we offer the process. Okay. If you were interested in just playing on a team, if you're just interested in playing on a 7-on-7 team and just want to be with your friends, hey man, by all means, go do that, but you can't do that here. We want guys who have a goal in mind. We want guys who have a vision of seeing themselves play at the highest level, whether that's college or whether that's pro. And what we offer is we offer the payoff of you living that dream, but most importantly, we offer you the tools in order to get there. What you do with it is on you, but we offer you those tools because we've lived that life. The way, man, that you can get involved is you can visit us on the socials at PPT Elite. You can go to our website where it has all the information. You can book a free consultation where we can hop on the phone. We can break down how we can help you, your desired outcomes for what you want, and then steer you in the right directions when it comes to programs. But PPT Elite is a place, man, where we're built on pride, preparation, and technique. Pride, preparation, and technique. Pride in what you do. We prepare to be elite at all things, and then we give you the techniques and the processes in order to get there. So that's what we want to do, man. We want to offer you your desired outcome. And once you join, we show you the process on how to get there.
I love it, Coach. One more question for you before we let you go. We talked about it a little bit at first. When you stepped away from football a little before you wanted to, you were looking for that purpose, looking for your goal and what you wanted to achieve next in life. Would you say this is it, and why so?
Oh, man. Hey, all right. I need about another 45 minutes, man. All right. No, this was not the goal. This was not the goal. When I got done playing, man, I always wanted to run a business. I always wanted to do that. I always told myself I never wanted to coach, okay? Because I would see coaches, they would spend all night in the facility. I never forget when I was with the Carolina Panthers my second year, there was a guy named Bobby Babbage. He's the DB coach up with the Buffalo Bills now. And I remember, man, I saw him, eyes bloodshot red. I asked him, I said, man, you been here all night? He's like, yeah. I said, man, how far do you live away from the stadium? He's like, oh, I'm 10 minutes. I said, man, no, I'm not doing that. Hey, look, man, we're not trying to save lives here or stop nuclear war or anything like that. It's football. You know what I mean? But man, it's funny how the things that you don't want to do, you end up doing. And it becomes a passion project, but most importantly, it becomes a purpose. And I think that what I've done is I've transitioned into the purpose stage. I think a lot of times kids get lost in the sauce, and kids do what kids do. They go to the flash. They go to the thing that looks cool at the time. They go to the thing that that gets them the social media likes, but is this helping you get to the ultimate goal of playing college football? I've watched a lot of kids come through programs, go through multiple programs, and never hear from them again because they were not prepared with the tools in order to get them or help them be successful. Right. The number one thing I want to do is I want to prepare you with the tools. I want to give you the exposure that you need, and I want to make sure you're mentally prepared for the task at hand in order to separate yourself in the elite category. As you progress in life, whether it's high school, you move to college, and if you're one of the less than 1% in the world who could play in the NFL, you've got to understand the elite mindset. And that's the biggest thing that we want to give everybody that leaves this program. Are you prepared mentally? We know you're going to be prepared physically, but can you handle this in order to separate yourself from the rest?
Coach, appreciate your time. It's always good talking to you. And as you said, for more info, check out the website, pptelite.com. Everything you could want to know is on there. But if you have further questions, there's a contact form. You can talk to Coach Pugh here through that. So make sure you check out their website. And Coach, we'll be looking forward to seeing you here. I hope we can talk again in a year or two about how far you've come once again. It's great stuff. And looking forward to seeing the future of PPT Elite.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be on with the best in the business. Boy, you can ask you some questions, man. I like it. But no, I appreciate it, man. Everybody go follow us, pptelite.com on all the platforms, and make sure to visit the website, too, to get all information. We look forward to working with you soon.
And I know for a fact, listen to him and taking notes and not taking anything personal at all, I'm going to be successful as well. And I'm going to get to where he was and be even more successful. So
there are many different ways to do this, and I feel like PPT provides an opportunity of not only exposure, but good coaching, good guidance, and high-level coaching. I think that's what a lot of kids going into high school, I see just as a parent, a lot of these kids skills could be are just kind of mediocre, but when you work with people who have been there and have played high level football, it translates back into the youth.
Like, he saw in my eyes that I could do it. So, you know, he pushed me to like my limits, and like without that, like, I really don't think that I could get to where I am. Like, from going from sophomore to junior year, that was probably the biggest improvement that I've saw in like my career and everything like that. And like, I really just can't describe like what he's done for me.
If you're looking for any kind of 7-on-7 opportunity, there's a lot of things out there, a lot of flashy things out there, but Jordan is a college football player for Texas A&M. He knows the game. He played in the NFL. He's a guy that is in it for the right reasons and is professional in everything he does.
One of my favorite things about PPT, though, was the family aspect of it. Pugh, even while I'm at college now, Pugh still texts me all the time asking about how school is, how my grades are doing, how football is going, like how my body's feeling, like making sure I'm taking care of everything on and off the field. PPT Elite is what helped me set my game apart to be where I am today, and they helped me build my confidence on the field. And I can 100% say without PPT Elite, I would not be at the school that I'm at today.